What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get into the drama of it all. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Ralph and Drew, Marlo, and Sheree in this designer situation. But let's get into it. Ralph and Drew. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I'm only talking about this because part 2 of the reunion is wrapping up, and I'm just trying to get all of the energy I have for that reunion out of my body, you know? This season wasn't the best, and like I've told y'all before in my reviews, I'm not really invested in the Drew, Courtney, Allison situation. I feel as though, like I tweeted today, because now there's a clip of Courtney going around doing an interview with a well-known radio station. I think that's in Atlanta or New York, but I feel as though we're doing the same thing that a lot of people accused us of doing with Fallon, where we're making people relevant that should not be relevant. Like, y'all are making Courtney relevant. I promise you, in the coming future, Courtney's going to be on somebody's reality show, and people are going to accept her and like her the same way with Fallon. Everybody thought, like, the whole situation with Fallon and Portia was a mess, but y'all made Fallon relevant in some way where she was relevant enough to be on somebody else's reality show and getting interviews with podcasts. So I think that's what's going to happen with Courtney, because she's already on national radio shows. And so I'm just not invested, but I saw these tweets and I just wanted to give my thoughts. So I don't know what order these tweets came out, but I'm going to do Drew's first and then I'm going to do Ralph's. So Drew posted this on the Monday after the part 1 of the reunion, and she said this: "I must always protect and stand for my children against this type of evil. I gave him the opportunity to shut down his unverifiable fake cousin down for her disgusting comments made concerning my son. However, he refused to do so, and it breaks my heart. She meant to be nasty and rude, making comments, dragging my child into this. Kids are always off limits. That's it. That's all. We're done." So then Ralph responded, and he says this: "It's time to speak truth, so let me be real. You expect me to pay child support when he has a father that wants to play an active role in his life, but you won't let him. Your adoption request was only a money grab and control. Since the age of 3, I stepped up to fill the gap as a man, unconditionally providing from my heart without expectations. I will continue to begin. My bad, y'all. I will continue being there, but you're not going to take advantage of me or use this show to get your way. I understand playing the battered victim role earns you sympathy on this platform, but you will respect me as a father. I love all my kids and have given them the world, including you. It's about them now. #respect." So here's my thoughts. A lot of people kind of agreed with Ralph last season, where people were like, well, why do you want him to adopt Josiah if he doesn't want to adopt the child? And I was one of those people where I felt as though, don't force anybody to adopt anyone if they don't want to. I think that puts your child at a negative advantage, knowing that they were forced, like the person that they viewed as a father figure felt forced to adopt them when they didn't want to. Now, it does make me look at Ralph completely sideways. It's like, you don't want to adopt him, but you want to profit off of him by writing a book about how to be a stepfather. Then that means you probably should have adopted him before even writing that book. Also, I don't know. I just feel like Ralph and Drew are stunt queens. And if Ralph and Drew do not get a divorce by the end of this year or the end of next year in 2024, I know something. Because y'all are doing all of this online, and it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Courtney was disparaging Josiah or the child. I honestly think she was talking about Drew being a liar and not having good intentions about the adoption. I feel like parents get this whole thing conflicted, where it's like, if you even mention someone being a bad parent, they're talking about a child. No, they're talking about how you're not a good parent. That's a you thing. Y'all conflate the two. Her talking about the child would have been like if she said something ill about him, talking about his physical features or his mentality or his behavior, then I could be like, yeah, she was talking negatively about your child, but she wasn't. She just said that, like, sis, you only wanted your son to be adopted so you could go off and have this love affair with your lesbian lover. That's not talking negatively about a child, in my opinion. Do I think Courtney should have said anything about their marriage and their situation? No, because who is Courtney? But I also feel like Ralph doesn't respect Drew, so she fair game, and their family is fair game, especially now that they're at odds and they're getting a divorce. But those are my thoughts. So this statement from Marlo, I was so confused with why this statement was posted by her. Because I didn't get what was the point. What was the point of this statement? Like, I saw everyone posting it. I was like, did someone say something and she came out with this? But it was supposed to be like a throwback Tuesday post, because this is how the statement starts off. It's like hashtag TBT, my first group scene on hashtag RHOA season 4. I refuse to exist in the narrative that they continuously try to create for me. How easily do they forget that when I first entered the circle, introduced by at Phaedra Parks, I walked in wearing full Gucci runway with my man at the time, Charles Grant, a retired African-American NFL player. I was not with a white man, not prostituting myself, not paying my bills with square readers, not pushing old men in wheelchairs, just living my authentic, fabulous life on my own terms. I've never been that person or done those things. Still, time and time again, I've endured this slander, lies, and defamation to my character, created by jealous women to fit a narrative that made them feel better about the lack of everything in their lives. I've always dated successful men, white, black, Asian, who deserve my time and attention. It's never been about what they have, but rather how they treat me. And I will continue to be me and live life on my own terms, no regrets. So I didn't get the point of this being posted. I really didn't. Because then people started pulling out like screenshots of Marlo being with various different white men on TikTok and on Twitter. And then people were like, girl, they're not jealous of you. You've just been really nasty towards people. And they brought up the things that she said about Nene, how she tried to do Nene, how she did Candy, how she's done Kenya, her saying the F word with Sheree when they were in Africa. It's like people have reasons not to like you, Marlo. So this narrative that they've made up, like these narratives that you're saying they made up, they're not made up. You've contributed to them. But I get that you're trying to get away from them, but you also haven't done a really good job of dispelling them either. Like, sis, you ain't been the nicest person since your first season being a full-time housewife. You have shown your ass. Let's be real. Let's be honest. You have shown the blackest part of your behind. Let's not do this, Marlo. Let's not. So the last thing we're going to talk about is this interview with the designer. When I tell you, that man ate. Oh, he let us know Sheree ain't no good. Sheree ain't no good. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put the link in the description bar below if you would like to watch the interview in its entirety. It is like an hour long. I did not watch the interview in its entirety. I just watched what's it called? I watch clips. I also watch Jamie That's Me's channel and Scotty's channel, and they were like breaking it down, like listening to it and reacting to it and giving their thoughts. So I was listening to it in that way. But yeah, the clips I saw, baby, that man made 42 pieces of outfits for Sheree, and Sheree tried to act like she didn't want to pay him because he didn't finish a jacket properly for her. It turns out that Rewind also got gypped as well because she ended up paying him because he lets us know that Sheree didn't have the money. I don't know how anybody would ever want to do business with Sheree. And Sheree thinks because she's never been brought to court and sued for her bad business practices and that what she's doing isn't wrong. And it is wild to me. That man pretty much lowballed himself to help Sheree because in his mind, he's like, I think he was thinking like, okay, she's on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She got money. If she can't pay me what I normally would get worth, at least I would get a shout out or be featured on the show where people would be invested in the garments that I made, because the outfits that were shown on the runway are definitely not the outfits that are shown on Sheree's show. Oh, not sure, on her website, I mean. Because there were really nice pieces on the show, and it just shows that like Sheree never really wanted to do She by Sheree. And I will always stand on the fact that I think Sheree felt pressured to do She by Sheree because people are always expecting her to make it into something, but she never made it into anything. I honestly feel like she just should have made it a basic jogging line where she was selling like the joggers for reasonable prices, like $30, $40. Her bags, her like little sports bags, water bottles, yoga mats. She could have even came out with a workout like line. There was ways that Sheree could have turned this, but she didn't. It's funny to me that like this man would have never came out or made his YouTube channel if Sheree would have never tried to play on the reunion. Like she pretty much, paid that man in full when it was like, he explains how hard it was to get his money and it was like pulling teeth, and really Juan was the one that paid him. And it's just kind of like, Sheree is a dummy. That lady has toothpaste for a brain because, ma'am, honestly, all you had to do is give that man a little bit of promo, and I promise you this would have never been happened. All you had to do is have him walk out on stage with you. You could have had him be a part of the process of you working on your business. But I think Sheree has it in her mind, like, I have to be the soul. I have to be the face. I have to do all of this stuff. And it's like, you're not a good face. You don't pay people. Like, that's that stigma that's around you. The fact that I am not going to get over Andy saying that you have an interesting relationship with bills. Everybody knows you don't pay people. And I also need y'all to, like, people out there who are trying to work with Sheree to understand, like, y'all have the reviews, the Yelp reviews that everyone, like, shout out to Erica, the diva, who always says the Yelp reviews are out. If people are constantly telling y'all that this lady don't pay nobody, stop doing business with her. Stop intertwining your business with her, because at the end of the day, you going to get shafted. And at some point, people are not going to feel sorry for you. They're just going to look at you like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop now. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have to talk about. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or whenever you see this video. But as always, remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below.